Today, I'm going to rank the 4 best online business models you should start right now as a beginner. Not based on hype, but not what's based on popping on TikTok, but this is based on 3 things that are actually matter when starting from zero. So we're going to base it on startup costs, difficulty, and income potential. Because a lot of these people like to jump in these business models without even knowing. They just see the Lamborghinis, they see the watches, they don't even know what the fuck they're doing. They see someone making money, they just copy it blindly and then realize 6 months later, the barrier to entry was way higher than they thought. So before we rank anything, what do these 3 things actually mean? First, we got startup costs. This is simple. How much do you actually need to begin? Some businesses require software, ad spend, tools, or inventory before you even make your first dollar. And other things, on the other hand, could literally be started with nothing more than a phone, internet connection, and just your time. And for beginners, obviously, low startup cost is going to be better because it removes the risk of losing thousands of dollars and it lets you experiment a little more. Second, we got difficulty. Difficulty isn't about how hard the work is. Every business model requires a lot of effort. What I'm talking about is the barrier to success when I say difficulty. How many skills do you need to learn? How competitive is the space? And how long does it realistically take before you start seeing results? Some businesses are simple to start, but they're extremely hard to master. Others require technical skills and it takes months before you even see your first client. Finally, we got income potential. How much money can this model actually produce if you execute it well? Some business models cap out quickly. Others are infinitely scalable and can grow into 6, 7, or even 8-figure businesses. So throughout the ranking, we're going to look at all 3 of these factors: low startup costs, reasonable difficulty, and high income potential. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly which business model I would start if I had to start all over again from zero. At number 4, we got content marketing, content operating, whatever the hell you want to call it. Content marketing is not clipping. It's not a clipping agency. It's not posting random reels for someone else. It's building and managing the entire content machine behind a personal brand or a business. So your job isn't just to get views. Your job is to turn that intention into revenue. And that means designing offers around products, structuring funnels, understanding what type of content converts, and building systems that actually make the creator money. And starting with startup costs for this one, the startup cost for this one is 0. That's why it's a great one. So all you need is a phone, laptop, a little bit of sales skills to actually close your client. But yeah, once you do close your client, you're set from there. Difficulty, I'm going to give it a medium because you don't need years of experience to start this, but you definitely got to know what you're doing. You can't just sign your client and have no experience of like building your own content or managing someone else's portfolio. You can't just fuck their shit up once you get signed. But the income potential for this one, especially after you've done it multiple times, you can range from $3,000 to $10,000 per month per client. And if you structure your revenue share correctly, you can stack recurring income fast. So the overall beginner rating for this one, I'll give it an 8 out of 10. It's a very strong option if you're strategic or more creative with your content. At the number 3 spot, we have an AI agency. Now, an AI agency is where you help a business implement AI tools into their system. And that could be for automations, chatbots, lead qualification systems, AI assisted workflows. Yeah, you're not building AI, you're just installing and customizing tools that already exist. Now, startup cost for this one is extremely high because you'll need subscriptions, you'll need CRM tools, outreach systems. Expect somewhere between $1,000 to $3,000 to properly start. The difficulty, I'm going to rate this very high because you need technical understanding, sales abilities, client communication, and proof of real results. So this isn't a watch one YouTube video and start tomorrow type of thing. So you actually need to know what you're doing for this. That's what kind of makes it non-beginner friendly. But the income potential on this one is very high. Projects can range from $5,000 to $20,000 depending on what the project is. So retainers can stack quickly, but it requires positioning and authority so you can sell people on your shit. So yeah, overall beginner rating is 6 out of 10. It's powerful, but it's not like frictionless. That's why it's dropping down on the scale. At the number 2 spot, we have personal branding. Now, personal branding is building attention around yourself in a specific niche. Now, you create content, you build trust, you monetize through courses, sponsorships, views, consulting, affiliate deals, products, whatever you want to sell whenever you have your own personal brand. Now, the startup cost for this is extremely low. All you need is a phone, basic editing software, and some consistency. Real talk. Difficulty we'll put high because once you do start your personal brand, you're now competing with guys like Amangashi, TJR, Brez. Like you're competing with people that have their big personal brands already. But yeah, all you need is consistent output, strong communication, understanding of the algorithms, emotional resilience, and you have to stay relevant in a world that changes monthly. So yeah, income potential, we'll put income potential for this one as very high because once you have a strong personal brand, you have all the leverage in the world. You can literally do whatever the hell you want. It opens doors for people. It creates inbound opportunities. It multiplies every business you touch pretty much. So hard to go out first, but insanely powerful once you are established. The number 1 spot, we got digital products. This is a business model I would personally start today if I had to go from zero again. Digital products are things like courses, guides, templates, AI prompt packs, Notion systems, communities. The entire idea behind digital products is very simple. You create something once that solves a very specific problem, and you can sell that shit a limited amount of times. So you don't got to deal with no inventory, no shipping, no manufacturing, no fulfillment. Once it exists, it can sell forever. And when it comes to the startup cost for digital products is extremely low. You don't need any inventory, you don't need employees, you don't need a warehouse. In most cases, you just need a way to create the product, a checkout page, and a way to drive attention to your product. And that's literally it. You can literally create your first product with tools you already have. A Google Doc can become a guide, a screen recording become a course, a spreadsheet can become a template. So realistically, you can start this business model from $0. Now, when it comes to the difficulty, I would put that low to medium, not because the creating the product itself is hard, but because distribution matters more than the product itself. Most people think the money is in creating a product, and it's not. The money is in the attention and the marketing you need. So you need to understand how to create content, how to position an offer, how to solve a clear problem, and how to guide people towards the product. But the good news is you don't need to be the best in the world at something. You just need to be one step ahead of the person you're trying to teach. So if someone knows nothing about a topic and you know how to get a result, you can package that into a clean digital product. Now for the income potential, this is where digital products are extremely, extremely powerful. The margins are insane. If you sell a physical product for $50, you might only keep 10 or 15 after the cost. But with digital products, if you sell it for $50, you're going to keep $50. And because the digital product is digital, you can sell it 10, 100,000, 10,000 times if you want it. And you could do all that without even increasing your workload at all. There is no scaling problem. There's no scaling problem. The delivery is instant. The profit margins stay high. And when you combine digital products directly with content, you create a system where attention turns into revenue. That's why so many creators, entrepreneurs, and influencers eventually move towards selling digital products. Yeah, but they might talk about their agency, their business models, their AI automation. But in reality, they're selling you a course or a digital product. That's where their real money comes from. Overall rating, the startup cost very low. Difficulty, we'll just say moderate. Income potential is very high. So overall beginner score, we'll give this one a 9 out of 10. Low risk, high margins, infinite scalability, which is exactly why digital products are one of the most powerful business models you can do right now. And here's something most people don't even realize. Almost every niche eventually leads to the same business model. It's digital products. Think about it. You'll see people on YouTube selling drop shipping, Amazon FBA, crypto, trading, agencies, whatever it is. But if you zoom out and look at what's actually happening, bro, a lot of people are teaching these business models, but they're making more money selling the information than doing the business itself. The real business is the digital product, courses, communities, guides, mentorships. Even people who do run successful companies eventually create digital products because they realize it's something important. Information scales, bro. A service requires your time. Physical product requires logistics. A digital product requires one creation and infinite distribution. And that's the leverage you get with digital products. And when you combine that with content, something crazy happens. Your content builds attention. Attention builds trust, and that trust actually converts right into digital product sales. So instead of chasing clients and doing sales calls all day, instead of constantly fulfilling work, you build something once and you let your content sell it for you. That's why so many creators online quietly transition into digital products once they understand the game. Because once you have that attention, selling information becomes one of the highest margin business models on the internet.